So today we are very happy to welcome on stage 𝘂𝗰𝗿𝗃𝗲, who is the co-director of the master, current alumni 𝘂𝗲𝗃𝗲, current student, an alumni Christelle, and Alice, who is will talk to you about everything you need to know to apply this program. So the agenda of today is this one. We are going first to, Julien is going to present you the school and the program, the master. Then 𝘂𝗲𝗃𝗲 will explain you how is student life in Centrale Mediterranée in Marseille. And Christelle will explain you how this program and the school can help you to boost your career, what she did and what she's doing now. And then Alice will explain all the details for the application. So before we begin, where we are in the world, so we are in the center of Europe, and we can say we are in the center of the world between Asia, America, and Africa. So France is in the middle of this Mediterranean area, and we are here in the Mediterranean coast. And the school has two campuses. We are going to explain you that. And we are approximately 3 hours from Paris on a high-speed train. So students who come have the benefit of the sea of the second town in France after Paris. This is Marseille is the second town with one of the biggest consular representation. There are 75 consulates in Marseille, and that city is huge. It's a port, and that shows that it's a very international city. And 𝘂𝗰𝗿𝗃𝗲 is going to present himself and then the program.
Okay, hello to everyone. So I'm 𝘂𝗰𝗿𝗃𝗲. I'm professor at the École Centrale Mediterranée, professor in optics, physics, and information processing. And I'm the head of the graduate school programs in the school, which comprises this master in complex system engineering. And I'm also handling the biomedical track of this master. So today I will present to you this program, and I'm also a researcher in optics in an optics lab, which is close to the school and belongs to the school. Okay, so the École Centrale, it's a particular object, I mean, in the higher education system, because it's what we call in France an engineering school. So it's not exactly as a university. It looks like a university, but it's a small university dedicated to teaching the engineering topics. And so they are quite famous in France. There are 5 of these Écoles Centrales in France, in the main towns, main cities in France. On top of that, we have 3 foreign Écoles Centrales, one in China, one in India, and one in Morocco. And the main idea of these schools is to give the students very broad and high-level scientific skills, but also in a multidisciplinary view, meaning the students, they will not specialize in chemistry or in mechanics, etc., but they will learn a little bit of all these topics and get a kind of wide view of all the engineering challenges they can face in their career. So that's the reason why we aim at providing the students with a global vision and a very open-minded approach. So it requires strong backgrounds in maths, physics, chemistry, of course, but also a lot of soft skills and additional lessons in economics, management, etc. And also these schools, they have very strong, oh, can you go back to previous one? Yeah, these schools, they have very strong connections with the industry because they are really famous in France, and they are very old schools. And so they have a lot of relationship with industries in France and abroad. And so also the teaching is based on the project-based lessons, teaching, etc. And also, you will see later, there is a strong connection to the international level. Okay, so Centrale Mediterranée is the last, the youngest of these schools, even though the school is old. It belongs to the group of Écoles Centrales since 20 years now, a little bit more than 20 years. It comprises about 1,200 students, comprising the engineering students plus the master students and the PhDs, etc. There is a strong collection of alumni. You see, it's almost 15,000 alumni in France and worldwide. But it's a small university because we have only, you see, only 100, no, less than 100, approximately 70 faculty staff plus 100 visiting lecturers approximately and 100 technical staff. But we belong to, we researchers belong to 7 labs which are associated to the school, and all these labs have a world-class ranking. So basically, if you gather all these labs, it represents approximately 400 researchers. And also, it's a very international campus because we have almost 25 nationalities in the school, and approximately maybe 17 to 18 in the master we're talking about today. We have 2 campuses now because the original school is in Marseille. So as Véronique mentioned, Marseille is the second city in France. It's approximately 1 million inhabitants. But there is also another big town on the eastern Mediterranean seashore in France. It's Nice, very close to Italy, and we have opened a campus in Nice. And some of the master students will spend their second year in Nice, at least in the environmental engineering track, not in the biomedical we are talking about today, but so we have now a second campus. Okay. So as I said, there are strong links with international schools, international universities, approximately 80 exchange agreements with the foreign universities in Europe mainly, but also in Africa and North and South America, and of course Eastern Asia. And I mentioned that we have 2 Erasmus Mundus master on which we are partners. Okay, a few words about this French higher education system. So year 1 starts after graduation from high school, and on the left part of the diagram. And then usually, if you follow a classical university track, you go to a bachelor degree in 3 years, and then you enter a master for 2 years, and then you can go to industry or perform some research during a PhD for 3 additional years. The French system for these grandes écoles, big schools, big engineering schools, it's composed of 2 years. We call it preparatory classes. So 2 years after high school, very intense years in math, physics, and chemistry. And then students, they pass very competitive exams to enter the engineering schools. And so these engineering schools, they comprise 3 years of training, so year 3 to 5. So that's the purpose of Centrale Mediterranée. We recruit students at year 3, and then we graduate them after year 5. They can pursue the PhD with us, but not all of them do that. Okay, so today we are talking about a master that is held by the Centrale Mediterranée School. So this master is called the Master in Science and Technology in Complex System Engineering, so MScT CSE. This master, there are 2 tracks, one in environment engineering, the other one in biomedical engineering. And we recruit students after the bachelor degree, so at the year 4 level, you see, for 2 years. It's a 2-year program in Master 1 and Master 2. And after that, the students who graduate, they can pursue in PhD, as you will have a testimony later, or they can go to the work to find a job, and they find jobs quite easily. The master comprises approximately 25 to 30 students per track in environment and biomed. Okay, so in the graduate school in École Centrale, Marseille, we have this master in science and technology. I just described, and I will describe it later. But we also have some diploma who belongs to the school. One is in data science and artificial intelligence. It's called the Centrale Digital Lab. And then we have also specialized master, which can be done after the classical master. It's called a master spécialisé in French, specialized master. It's one in cybersecurity, the other one in marine energy. And for our engineer students, we have approximately 17 tracks of master, which are shared by the big Aix-Marseille University. So it's the biggest institution in Marseille, much bigger than us, but we work together to handle this master. So our students in Centrale, they can follow all these kinds of master, going from mathematics to economy, etc. Okay. So I already mentioned the fact that all the faculty staff members, they are belonging also to labs. So we have 5 main research institutes which are affiliated to the school. One is, no, not 5, 8, sorry, 7, sorry. 3 labs are in mechanics, so 𝗂𝗵𝗹𝗹𝗲, LMA, M2P2. 1 lab is in mathematics, 1 in chemistry, 1 in physics. This is the one I belong to. In physics, optics, and electromagnetism. Also data processing a little bit. And then the last one is in economy. And we also have some associated research institute, one in computer science, one in electronics, and the other one in science of the movement. And in Nice, one in maths and one in physics also. Okay, as I mentioned, the central schools, they have very strong connections with industry. So you see here some logos of the very big industry in France, at least. Maybe you recognize Airbus. Airbus is really well known for airplanes, but in Marseille, close to Marseille, we have the very big factory of 𝗵𝗵𝗹𝗃𝗍𝗃. So they build helicopters. We have ST Microelectronics, one of the biggest European semiconductor manufacturer. But also you see Air France, EDF for the power supply distribution, etc. Okay, so many connections with the industries, which is very important for you students because it helps to find internships or projects or jobs. Okay, so I will switch to the presentation of the biomedical engineering track in the master. So this master belongs to Centrale Mediterranée, as I said, and it is part of this complex systems engineering master. So the idea of the complex system engineering is how to handle very big situations where you have a lot of small parts, small constituents, which are more or less independent, which belongs in the same way or not, which are entangled or not. And so usually it gives you problems which are not easily solved because you need to have an in-depth understanding of each part and about their relationships. And for that, you need to have a very wide view, an open-mindedness to allow you to grasp all the physics, chemistry, mechanics, I don't know, dynamics of all the parts of the system and describe them together, understand the relationships together, and then solve using specialized tools, solve these problems. And the problem of that is usually this kind of problem, they do not have a single and obvious solution, but sometimes you have to go through how can I say, to iterative search solutions, and for that you have to get some insight already about the system. So yeah, so it's very interesting, and in that domain, of course, environment is one of the big examples of complex systems with the very big challenges, and also the life, describing life and all the biomedical activities, they are related to this complexity. So our purpose in this master, in the biomed track, is to provide you with a wide scope, an open-minded program. So it's designed for undergraduate students with strong background in sciences and engineering. It's important to know that this is a master program which is accredited by the French higher education and the French ministry. So as a consequence by the European Union. So this master we propose is composed of two diplomas, which goes along together. One, it's a national master's degree, which basically is the scientific core of the program. It represents approximately 600 hours of teaching over the 2 years. But on top of that, we provide you with a second diploma, which will testify the fact that you acquired some skills more related to the engineering part. I mean, what I mean by that is all the soft skills, project management, team management, etc., language, also all the activities which are conducted through projects. So you have a lot of hand-on projects and internships. Also, it's accredited by some local excellence labels like the Amidex. We are part of the Amidex program, yeah, for masters, and in particular, you probably noticed that we are entitled to deliver Tiger Excellence grants, which comes from this Amidex fundings. Okay, so this master is basically composed of one half of all the hours dedicated to the masters related to scientific courses. But you notice that that's not all. On top of that, you have approximately 250 hours of soft skills. So comprising, as I said, project management, team management, etc., etc. A lot of things. A lot of also scientific and cultural openings. Then you have approximately 200 hours of projects and seminars over the 2 years, plus some language courses. So for the people who are already fluent in French, they can follow English or other languages, but for all the others, they will have French lessons, because this is one of the big assets of this master for you, is to get this international experience and learn a new language, learn a new culture in France. Okay, so again, I repeat that this is a full-time 2 years master, M1 plus M2. So sometimes it can happen that we hire people directly in M2, but for that we need to get these people, they need to get already a first year of master in their own country, and this master has to be sufficiently in line with our curriculum. So we check that and we discuss through interviews. All the applicants are interviewed. Okay, it's two other very important points. It's 100% in English, and also there is a lot of opportunities for internship. We kept strong, a big place for internships, with at least 3 internships during the schedule. So if you take a look at this first year, after a first semester of propedeutics, to get all the students approximately at the same level in all the most important subjects, then they go to a lab internship in local laboratories. The idea is to give you a two-month experience in a lab, to experience new people, talking in French or interacting with French people and with the researchers in Marseille. Then you go to the second semester, and in the summer you have 2 to 3 months internships. Okay, and then you start in September the second year, which is divided in a different way. You see there a big up to February there is a long teaching period in the school with projects anyway, and then this is the big master thesis internship, so for at least 5 to 6 months. And usually you graduate in September, this October, and the diploma is delivered the next year in January. Okay, so I will not read all the details of the curriculum, but I invite you to check on this website. It will be more up to date, because this slide is quite old, but basically, you see in the first year, there is this propedeutics part, so a lot of some recall in transport phenomena, computer science, wave propagation, a little bit of physics, a little bit of chemistry, a little bit of biology, and also some introductory courses to clinical medicine. The idea is to have you meet people from the clinical domain and interact with surgeons, engineers, etc. So it's very interesting. And then in the second semester, the slide is missing there. In the second semester, there are courses more specialized in biomed, really. So including bioinformatics, including imaging and therapy, including the description of life, how life is organized in a multi-scale view, starting from molecular chemistry to human anatomy. And the last teaching unit is composed of a lot of visits of labs, of platforms or industries, interviews, conferences, etc. Okay, in the second year, no, please go back to yeah. And then in the second year, in M2, again, we will keep a very wide view of the biomedical domain. So you can take a look at this list. There is courses in advanced imaging, optical imaging, again, courses in computer sciences, specialization in biomechanics, but also image processing, numerical modeling and numerical tools for modeling, advanced material, advanced mechanics, and also sensors, telemedicine, etc. Okay. Yeah, all this master is goes along with a competencies approach, meaning that it's not only a collection of scientific knowledge, but it also we ensure that you validate some skills and competencies which will be useful for your work life. So these 4 competencies will be the scientific and technical innovation through research. The second one will be the handling of complexity. The third one will be the mastery of specialized tools in modelization, modeling, simulation, etc. And the last one is more about the soft skills. It's about the project and team management. Okay, maybe you can switch this one. It's we put the stress on the fact that we require you to behave and to be committed into your curriculum, and because this is part of the evaluation of the graduation also. Okay, very quickly, this was a nice example which was done in the team I belong to, not by me, but by my colleague Annabella. She was leader of a project about the trying to kill brain tumors, which are glioblastoma, we call it that. They're really aggressive tumors. And the idea is to show you, this slide is just to show you very quickly how it can be complex and at the same time really impressive. So the idea is to kill this tumor in the brain of a mouse. You see the small mouse on the left. So for that, you need to go through the skull, open the skull, and through the skull there is a kind of biological barrier which prevents the drugs to go to the tumor. So for that, they use ultrasound to open the blood-brain barrier using this kind of cavitation of ultrasound. And then they injected gold nanoparticles which will migrate to the tumor, and then they will use a laser to shine the skull. And due to the presence of these gold nanoparticles, they will heat. So by heating, they will kill the tumor. They will kill the tissues, the tumoral tissues. But at the same time, using what we call photoacoustic imaging. So the photoacoustic imaging is a kind of, in one word, is hearing the noise that has been provoked by a laser pulse in the brain. So you excite with light, but you hear with the sound. And using this signal, you can measure the increase of temperature locally in the tumor. So you can check if you heated enough or not, and if the tumor is killed or not. So it's one example to show you that in that project you had doctors, physicists, chemists, engineers, of course, and physicists in acoustics, physicists in optics. You see it's very wide range of skills that were required. Also, you have imaging, reconstruction of imaging, simulation, etc., etc. So it was a very, very complex project, but which was a success. Okay. Also, one of the very big assets of this master is the connection to real world. As I told you, we try to always have you interact with clinicians, surgeons, doctors, engineers, R&D engineers, etc. So you see, we usually train our students. We have them who go through Marseille and many places and visit platforms like you see an MRI platform here. So this is very interesting first for your culture, scientific and industrial culture, but it is also very important because it helps you to find internships and why not jobs. Because if you see in the next slide, there is the map of Marseille. So Marseille, you see there's a long seashore, approximately 30 kilometers of seashore. And Centrale Mediterranée is the red arrow. And if you look at all the yellow dots, they correspond to partners with which we have interaction, which we visit during these 2 years. So it can be labs, platforms, industries, etc., etc. Can I give you a few examples of internships that were conducted by the first two sessions of this master in biomed? So one was in my lab in Institut Fresnel about using a nonlinear microscopy to make the diagnosis of cancer in tissues. One was the analysis of biofluidic rhythm, so it was signal processing internship. One was about the MRI, etc., MRI and related to the neurosciences. So looking how auditive excitation could change the MRI response of the brain. And in companies, there were some industrial design of obstetric medical device. Another one was building a kind of calibration bench, sorry, for a kind of robot to assist the surgery. And one was about the regulation of diabetes drugs in Air Liquide, which is a big French company. One of these students is actually now in a PhD with this company. Okay, quick view of the current batch, let's say, of students in this master. So we have when I add environment engineering and biomedical engineering, we have approximately 30 students, maybe a little bit more if you add the students in Nice, so it's more like 50 students, approximately 10 women and 19 men, which is approximately the repartition of the school. The average age is 25 years old. We have 15, but I think it's much more. We have almost 20 different nationalities in the master, ranging from Middle East, Africa, and also Asia. We have a lot of Chinese students, for instance. And the academic background, at least for the biomedical domain, it will be biochemistry, but more biomedical engineering students in bachelors in biomedical engineering, sometimes in data processing, computer science. Okay, but I repeat that all the students, all the applicants, if you want to apply, your file will be checked, and then we will organize an interview with me for this track so that we can discuss your motivation, your skills, and is this master the good one for you? And I think I'm done for my part. Am I correct?
You're correct. You're done for this
Okay, thank you.
wonderful presentation. Very tough but complete that can give students and future applicant a very good approach of the program itself with the classes, with the professional experience, the internship in labs. And Alice will talk to you also a little bit about it because you can be paid during your internships in France as far as the internships are more than 2 months. So it's interesting for you. You don't work for free, and it can be part of your motivation to join the school. So thank you very much, Julien. And exactly as you said, regarding the age, regarding the nationality, regarding the internship experience, we are now going to hear Gerardo. So Gerardo is a current student coming from Mexico, so an international student in M1, and is going to share his experience with you.
Okay. Hi to everyone. My name is 𝘀𝗵𝗃𝗿𝗃. I'm a student of the first year from Mexico, and I'm gonna speak to you about like how was my experience and how has been going on here in Marseille. So just a little bit of background of me. I did like my high school and my bachelor's in Guadalajara, Mexico, and I'm a bachelor in biomedical engineer. And before coming here to France, I wanted to like say that I did like two exchanges. The first one in Canada, in Quebec, uh, and the second one in Australia. And I want to tell you this because even if it's like the first time or you've been abroad like many other times, for me, going to a different country has been a really, really fulfilling experience. And I think I can, from my experience, I can tell you that it's really, really valuable. You learn like a lot of things. So it's also something to like be excited about to like for you to come in here. And a little bit of why I chose this master. First, like Julien had mentioned, I want to talk about like the interdisciplinarity of the masters. It's a really big opportunity to look at different fields across the engineering. Um, like also in case like you maybe don't know in what you want to specialize, like you don't know like to which specific field to go. It's really nice to like have different courses of like physics, thermodynamics, optics, more more to like computer science. So like you get like a better view of like, okay, I like this, I like that. Maybe I can like look an internship on this and that. And also to mention that the internships that we have the opportunity to go, um, some of the teachers that teach here are part of the of some labs. So it's really nice that they talk about their projects, and it's really easy to like maybe get like some connections with them, so you can get like an internship. You can be included in like some really cool projects as Jonathan had mentioned before. And a little bit about the school life. Um, yeah, I would say like this school has a really, really big like student life. There's a lot of associations that you can join to where you can like meet new people. You can like talk to the French students. As you can see here, like an image in the top left corner, like all of those like little dots are associations. Like there's an associations for innovations, for sports, for culture, for like student life, for business. So it's like yeah, it's really important to focus on the engineering part, but know that you can do so much more like besides that. And well, finally, I want to talk about a little bit like the living here in Marseille. Marseille is a really beautiful city, honestly. I didn't expect like me liking it like that much. And I don't know if you've done like a little bit of research for like before, because from my experience, when I did a little bit of research, yeah, maybe the things you see in the media, they're not like the best things. Um, but know that the like it's not everything. Like you really need to come here to experience everything that happens here. And I can tell like it's a really beautiful city. There are a lot of activities to do. It has a lot of life. You can meet a lot of new people. You can discover new hobbies. And so I really invite you like to come here. I sure like you would have like a really amazing time. And also like because it's close to a lot of major cities in Europe, so it's really easy to like travel around to like know some new places. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gerardo. It gives us the motivation to be a student again, to learn, to experience, and to enjoy. And it's true that living myself in Marseille is an amazing city. It's like a big theater and with iconic places. And living there is really to feel being part of something, have a heart, Mediterranean heart and energy. And it's really, really beneficial. It's a port, very international. So your photos are great, and not only Insta photo, it's also reality. Thank you, Gerardo, for this presentation. Don't leave us because after students can ask you questions. So now we are going to see what's happening after the program, and Christelle is going to present herself and what she's doing now as an alumni.
So, hello everyone. First of all, to follow up on Gerardo, I can definitely attest Marseille is one of the most beautiful cities I've been to. So, yeah. So, I'm Christelle Margossian, and I'm a biomedical engineer. I studied in Lebanon. I studied biomedical engineering in a program of 5 years. So basically, it consisted of my bachelor's plus my master's one, which is why I came to École Centrale Marseille to do my master's too. So yeah, I did the complex systems engineering, the biomedical track. And after I graduated, I landed on a PhD in France. Also, it's in Grenoble, where I'm currently at. And I started my PhD just a couple of weeks ago, and it's in biophysics and biomechanics in a physics lab called 𝗲𝗵𝗹𝗶𝗃. So basically, I definitely do aspire to create change in the world, which was why I chose the path that I'm trying to live up to. And I'm really happy to be part of to have been part of École Centrale Mediterranée because it really helped me to push my limits and become the person I am today. So I wanted to include this picture because this was actually in January during our graduation, and we were actually the first biomedical engineering batch to graduate from École Centrale, and this was a really inspiring day, and it was good to have closure after this beautiful journey that and quite challenging journey that we've been through. So why did I choose the to go to École Centrale? So basically, I was in Lebanon. The knowledge I obtained from biomedical engineering, I felt like I needed to explore that more, and I was more in the electrical and artificial intelligence aspect. However, I definitely did want to broaden my interests and my background in the field because I really liked it and I wanted to know more. And my colleague who was in Masters 1 at the time in École Centrale, she told me exactly that she never knew biomedical engineering was this broad, and that really excited me, and I wanted to come experience that aspect and see the broadness of my field. So because I only did masters two in École Centrale, so technically I did around 6 months of studying and then a 6 month internship. So I can speak that in these 6 months of studying, we used and we learned so many different platforms. For example, we worked with MATLAB, Python, COMSOL, Abacus, Altair, Inspire, etc. And we went in depth with all of them. And as we already mentioned, again, for the courses, they are quite broad. And here I can mention just a few, like biomechanics, medical device regulations, optics, image processing, and so much more. And during the master's too, we also have what is called the career orientation, which is basically a 5 week program that's spread out in these 6 months. And it's basically some sort of specialization, I could say, like you want to learn more about this aspect. So you have four different topics you can go into, like research, audit counseling, entrepreneurship. However, I picked the design and manufacturing, and that went in depth with a bit of the more mechanical aspect of the engineering field. So I could definitely say that École Centrale definitely made education fun. We had a lot of seminars and conferences that were very informative and dynamic. We had some training and hands-on work. We also were given the opportunity to be innovative and work on different projects. For example, here we can see the oximeter that my colleagues and I we built it from scratch. We did the 3D printing. We worked on the electrical aspect of it, and it was a very fun and we learned a lot from this project. And also all the career orientation and the courses you will take will definitely help you land your internships, which was relatively not difficult to obtain because École Centrale is quite reputable among laboratories and companies. So it was definitely not difficult to obtain an internship during the 6 months. And as I said, because I selected the design and manufacturing career orientation, I was able to land a really interesting internship in a French startup. I worked there as an R&D mechatronics engineer, and we worked on a medical device to help women with postpartum hemorrhage that happens after birth. And it was a very fruitful experience for me. And I can definitely say that École Centrale helped me immensely in order to land a PhD in Grenoble. As I said, it's in biophysics and biomechanics of endothelial cancer cells. And a lot of the things that I'm already learning here and I'm using, I've already learned about at École Centrale during my courses and the career orientation. So I believe that my formation was really helpful for me. And in conclusion, I can say that if you want to create an impact, this program is definitely for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Christelle. It's beautiful to see your passion, to see how you were involved in everything you did, how every classes and visit and experience are broad and enriching your complete academic and professional path. It's very, very, very interesting. Thank you very much. And now, if you want to do like Gerardo and Christelle, let's listen to Alice. Alice is going to tell you everything about the application process, and then we will have a question and answer session.
Yeah, hello everybody. So I'm Alice Rajo. I'm the graduate school program manager for the École Centrale Mediterranée. So first of all, who can apply? Pretty much everybody can apply, provided that you demonstrate a strong background in science. You can apply either for the M1 or for the M2. You can apply for the M1, so the first year of the master's program, if you are undergraduate, so if you have a bachelor's degree. But you can also apply directly for the second year of the master, so it's the M2, if you have a validated M1. So how to apply? So in order to apply, you will have to connect to 𝗀𝗏𝗏. 𝗀𝗏𝗏 is the online application that will allow you to apply for programs at Centrale Mediterranée. So you will have to connect to 𝗀𝗏𝗏 to create an account and to choose the master and the track and the year of your choice. And then you will have to complete your application file, uploading supporting documents, answering some additional forms and questions. So if you need help with 𝗀𝗏𝗏, if you have any problem with this application, please, first of all, consult the FAQ online and the user guide in the 𝗀𝗏𝗏 help section. But if you still have a question after consulting the FAQ and the user guide, you can send us an email and I will answer, or my colleague will answer you as soon as possible. So the application deadline is June 1st. And we'll see together the schedule for the application. So it's next slide, please, Veronique. So before June 1st, you will have to apply. And if you are pre-selected, you will have an interview with the jury. So basically with Julien Fad, you heard before. And you, before June 1st, you will also have to apply on Études en France if you are a non-European student, but I will come back to that later. And you will have to apply on Mobility Online if you are a double diploma or an Erasmus student from a partner institution. So early June will be the admission jury, and you will know whether or not you are selected for the 𝘂𝗁 Scholarship. And I will talk about the 𝘂𝗁 Scholarship a few minutes later. And in June and July, you will have to register if you are admitted to the program. You will have to register online and to pay the tuition fees, or at least the first installment of the tuition fees if you choose to pay by installments. The last week of August will be the welcome week for international students. So you will arrive in Marseille and attend this welcome week if you can. And beginning of September will be the kickoff of the master and the beginning of the courses for the M1 and for the M2. So I will make a quick focus for the international student, a quick focus on Campus France, which is a governmental organization responsible for promoting French higher education around the world. So I advise you to connect to the Campus France space for your home country, and you will find useful information about studying and living in France, about scholarships, accommodation, visas, etc. And it's very, very important for the non-European students to apply on Études en France in addition to the e-candidate application. So if you live in a country covered by the Études en France procedure, you will have to create an account to apply on Études en France. It's very important because in the end, if you are admitted to the program, you will need that in order to obtain your visa. Okay, so how much does it cost? It depends whether you are European or not. If you are a European student or French student, it will be 6,750 euros per year. If you are a non-European student, it's 10,379 euros per year. If you are a student from partner of Centrale Mediterranée or of the Mediterranean network for the engineering schools, you will have a 50% discount on the applicable rates. So those fees include the master's tuition fees defined by ministerial decree each year, plus training fees not eligible for exemption for social grant holders or French government grant holders. So what does it mean? It means that basically, for instance, if you are a Campus France scholarship holder, you are exempted from the master's tuition fees defined by ministerial decree, but you still have to pay the training fees around 6,500 euros. So, and as I said, sorry, you can choose to pay by installment. We offer payment in 3 installments, but you will have to pay the first installment before mid-July if you are admitted in order to register to the master. So scholarships, as Julien told you, we deliver 𝘂𝗁 scholarships for academic excellence. So those scholarships are 10,000 euros per year. And we also book a cruise room in a cruise residence for the awardees. So this is an academic excellence scholarship, and it's open for international students who register for the first time in a French higher education school. And basically, if you apply for the master, you apply for the 𝘂𝗁 scholarship. You don't have to apply to send more documents. And we will tell you by June if you are awardee of the 𝘂𝗁 scholarship. For instance, Ferrando is one of our lucky awardee this year. But it's important to note that 𝘂𝗁 scholarship awardees are not exempted from paying tuition fees. So you have to pay your tuition fees first, and then you receive your scholarship. It's important because it has to be planned before you apply or before you come to Marseille. You can also benefit from 𝘂𝗁 social grant, but it's more for European students. And if you want to know about other financial supports, I advise you to check on the Campus France website of your home country. You will find some pretty useful information. And when you will arrive in France, maybe you will be able to have the CAF allowance for accommodation. It's a public help for students. So you will have to ask for it, but once you find a house in Marseille. So yeah, let's talk about housing. I really advise you to look for housing in Marseille as soon as you are admitted to the program, because Centrale Mediterranée does not have student residence on its own, so it's up to you to find your house. You have to know that in Marseille, the average rent is around 500-600 euro per month. Sorry, it's less if you are in a cruise residence. It's more if you are in an apartment with a sea view, for instance. We do not have student residence, but we have a partnership with 𝗀𝗵𝗹𝗶, which is an online housing platform. And as soon as you are admitted to the program, you can apply you could search and apply for an apartment on this platform. You will find exclusive offers for students of Centrale Mediterranée. People who speak English and will be able to help you in your housing search and secure an online process for you. You can also find an apartment, a room in a private student residence. There are many student residences around the Centrale or downtown. You can also share a room in a private home or ask for a cruise room. So the cruise is a public service, a public organism, and you can connect to their website and ask for a cruise room. It's pretty, how can I say, a lot of students want to live in a cruise room because it's not very expensive. So if you are admitted, connect early. So the average cost of living in Marseille is around 800 euro per month. It depends on the amount of your rent, and it includes groceries, entertainment, transportation, etc. And as Véronique told you, in France, if you do an internship of more than 2 months, you are paid. So, for instance, for the M2, the master thesis internship, you are paid, the students in the master are paid for an average of 1,100 euro per month. It's less if you do your internship in a lab. It's like around 600 euros in a lab, and it can be more if it's in a company. So after you graduate, you can find a job in France and stay 1 year for that. And during your studies, you can find a student job. It's possible, but as Julien told you, it's a very demanding master with a lot of class hours. So you can work after, but you will have a lot of class if you do this master. And I wanted to conclude this webinar talking to you about the Welcome Week for international students. So it's not a compulsory week. You don't have to attend, but I really advise you to come if you are admitted to the program to attend this Welcome Week, the last week of August, because you will be able to share your experience, to meet other international students, and to get help with your administrative procedures. For instance, how to open a bank account, how to find a house, and you will have visits of Marseille, you will have intensive French classes, and you will have parties also, I think.
Actually, like if I can say, like I'm the vice president of the association that's in charge. So yeah, we're planning really cool activities to take you around Marseille and to help you out in case you come.
Perfect. Yeah, like the Frioul or something. Yeah, okay. Good. So please, so come if you are admitted to the program, attend this welcome week for international students. So that's it for me, I think.
Yeah, it is. Thank you so much, Alice, for this technical part. It's not easy to explain because it's very intense and very dense, depending on the profile of students. There are a lot of administrative procedures, but it's not so difficult. We wanted to present you, and Alice did that perfectly, a very global approach of the recruitment process and the cost of living, how to find an apartment. So Gerardo and Christelle, both of them had an apartment. They changed it. It was not so difficult to find. So now, if you have any question, we are here to answer your specific demands, and it's your turn to speak. Ezra,
you can also send us your question by email. We'll answer
by email or on the chat. We are going to put in the chat the email of the program once again, but this is the major information, which email and person to contact. You write it, Alice?
Yeah. It's done.
Aye, cool. So you participants, Vanessa, you arrived. Do you have any questions regarding your personal expectations? Something you need to know about the program? Take the most of Christelle. Hi, iWes. Please, you can put your mic on and talk.
Thank you. Hi to all. I want to ask some questions regarding my eligibility. As I am recently graduated from MBBS. I am a medical doctor. I have studied biochemistry, physiology, anatomy, medicine, surgery. Am I eligible to apply for that program? And this is my first question. And I also want to ask question from the alumni and the recent students. How did they support themselves financially during this program? As at that age, like 25 years or 24 years old, your family don't support financially. So then how do they support themselves? Thank you.
Maybe I can try to answer the first part of your question. So I mean, for any applicant, and the procedure is to apply through the 𝘂𝗍𝗍, sorry, this platform, and then we will review your file. So I will not answer now about your curriculum because it's not too, I mean, I need more precision about this, but I encourage you to apply. It's not very difficult to do, and then we will go through your file, and if this is okay, we can organize an interview. I think this is the easiest way.
Yeah. And regarding how do you cover your expenses?
About like some of the opportunities will help, like for example, the government bring us. I'm for starters, yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones that have the scholarship. So basically that takes out the school fees. But also, like Alice said, there's like the 𝗂𝗏 program, which is like a program that gives you money. This gives you a discount on the rents you pay. For example, in my experience, I pay 550 per rent, and this program takes around 100 euros from the rent. So that also helps. And also you have the opportunity to eat and have dinner at the Cruz restaurant, and that's 3 euros per like a really full meal. And also you can ask for kind of like a scholarship from the cruise, which takes it from €3 to €1. So you can also like have really cheap meals and economize a little bit on your expenses. So those are some opportunities that you have to like, it's really, you don't have to worry that much about like the living costs here.
Thank you.
Yeah, actually, it was the same for me. I benefited from the CAF, as he mentioned, the housing aid. Also the cruise €1 aid. I also benefited from that. For example, I did not have the scholarship, so I did have some family aid, of course. My parents helped, but as a living aid, you can benefit from many different aspects, and I think you'll be fine.
And there is also at the end of the program 6 months where you will be paid, so it's a good help. And if you do an internship more than 2 months, you will be paid also. So it's also resources to finance your day-to-day life. Is it okay? Do you have any other question?
So if nobody has any other question, please don't hesitate to reach us by email, and we will answer if something comes to your mind later.
Of course, and we will send the slides and the replay of this video to everybody. Like that, you can come back on the content. And but the most efficient is to send an email to show your motivation and also to get specific answers to your specific questions. So thank you, everybody. It was a pleasure to present this program, and we hope to see you soon in Marseille in September.